Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Mamluks podcast. My name is Sim. Along with me are my co-hosts, your favorite Sheikh Amir.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody.
Welcome to the show. Mort.
Hey.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
You're kind of in the middle of two cameras, bro. It's like you're kind of confused. Look. You know where the camera is, bro. You know how to position
Which
yourself. Right there. That's what the viewers are seeing.
No, bro. It should be this one. But now I got to scoot all the way over here now.
Oh, maybe Sheikh Amir. Oh, Sheikh
You
Amir.
messed it up.
Touch it.
Shit.
No, you messed it up last time. I was
shit.
trying to tell you that, but you were just...
Why would you do this,
I
Sheikh?
did not. I don't touch any of the AVs. I'm afraid of that stuff, bro.
Anyway.
Because I can see myself directly in this camera.
Okay.
In the middle.
We'll sort you out, bro.
I'm from Ummat
sort you
al-Wasat. I'm in the middle.
Shabab, thank you for joining us.
Shababis.
Week full of episodes. We've had a lot of episodes, and for a good reason, because in Ramadan we end up taking a break of sorts. We try to get out one show, maybe one or two shows during the blessed month.
Yeah, let's try to do
it. But just in case we don't, in case your friend Sim and Sheikh Amir are a little bit incapacitated or deep in worship, like Sheikh Amir would be in itikaf. More. Let's keep moving. And so, in order to make sure that we have enough episodes for you guys to listen to, we put out a whole bunch right before Ramadan, and hopefully you guys don't get too upset if we don't put out as much content during the blessed month.
Yeah, but don't get excited because we may still put out an episode. So make sure you subscribe and you hit the bell so you know if we do. It would be awful for you not to catch an episode.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sheikh, are you getting your home ready for Ramadan? Are you decorating?
No, that's usually Eid time, but
you guys don't decorate your home. You don't put up a Ramadan crescent tree.
we do, but it's more like when you have kids, it's like more like their schedules and like their. This year we're kind of doing they actually have them on Amazon, like the Ramadan planners.
Yeah.
And they're really this one is really nicely designed. My missus found it. It's like $4 or something, and every day it has like one of the 99 names you go to. So instead of like trying to find what dars to do with your kids, it kind of has like a nice plan, and then you build off of that. So it's really nice. It's really cool.
It's kind of boring, bro. What about lights? Do you have that?
That's boring?
That's the real light. That's the real nur, bro. See how Allah just helped you out, bro?
Whoa!
What about the light? This is the light, bro.
Allahu Nura.
No, I'm not. I know. We do that around Ramadan time. When Ramadan comes up, because the kids it gets them active about it and all that kind of stuff. But, God bless those people, man. The Eid Fest guys, man, because my kids love Ramadan and Eid because of those guys, man.
It's for the Eid Fest at your local mosque.
That looks amazing.
So Eid Fest, for those who don't know, in Chicago we have a local mosque that has Eid Fest at.
No, YM does it.
Yeah.
YM. Ikna and those guys.
Okay, so they
make the whole theme park and everything at the masjid and all that. You've been to those before, right? You have?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah,
they bring like a petting zoo. They have amusement
roller coasters.
The thing that it's done really cool because it's a true family event.
Yeah,
there's stuff for women and children to do. The kids, the young kids. There's food for the guys to eat.
Guys to eat. Jeez, you're gonna get one from that. Women don't have to eat.
No, I mean they shouldn't. They should watch their figure. But I mean,
great. Here we go.
I mean. Anyways, but then and there's a grand finale with fireworks at the end, and who doesn't like fireworks? Pataka.
Yeah. It's really, but anyways, so that's what we were kind of, as far as entertainment wise. But yeah, there's other preparations taking place. It's nice.
Do you know what preparation I want to do?
What do you want to do? I don't know. You're smirking like I know. I don't know.
Did your kids watch Encanto?
No, what's Encanto?
It's this children's cartoon movie. It's fantastic.
No idea
it's from
what that
Latin
is.
America.
Maybe they did. It sounds familiar.
Bro, it's got like some of the best songs ever.
Encanto? I don't know.
Yeah, it's got great. Come on, listeners, help me out here.
So wait, what does it have to do with Ramadan? What does it have to do with preparation for Ramadan?
It's like I was thinking about doing an Encanto themed Ramadan.
Is he? I don't know if he's being serious.
Are you celebrating Ramadan or Halloween?
No, Encanto theme, not Halloween. Halloween's haram, remember? So I'm trying to do something completely separate from someone's
tell us more
pagan
about this.
religions.
How?
Okay. No, so what does Encanto have to do with Ramadan? I want to know Encanto.
Encanto is like this amazing cartoon from like it's themed in Latin America and it's got like all these gorgeous colors and stuff.
So what are you gonna have a piñata up?
Oh, so you're talking about decorations. That's how you're bringing that up.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't.
He just said an Encanto themed like Ramadan.
Yeah, I didn't get. Okay. Because the first thing he says has really cool songs. So I thought he's been playing Encanto songs during Ramadan or something.
Calm down.
Soundtrack.
So what I'm saying though, but how do you envision this?
I was thinking about lots of
foods.
Well, they had like lots of lamps and stuff in the movie. So I was thinking about decorating the house with lots of lamps. And then on the lamps, instead of Encanto words or related words, I would probably put like, Ramadan Mubarak or something.
Yeah, they do that in the Middle East, like in Egypt and Turkey. The lamps during Ramadan.
Yeah.
The fanus, they call it fanus.
Fanus.
Yeah, al fanus. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, man. Put out some lanterns for Ramadan, bro. It's pretty dope.
So, not on the business. A lot of people in Ramadan, they want to complete the Quran. But they just never get around to it. So for me, I have a technique, right? Like I make sure I just nail out at least one juz a day. Because I know in the middle I can do it, but I have them like, I have this age-old like spreadsheet that I used, and I know exactly what surah and ayah to a surah and ayah makes. You know what I mean? So I just kind of go through that. Cool. So I just make sure I hit that by the day. But what I noticed is the earlier you start, people start late. Like, oh, I'm gonna start later, but you feel overwhelmed. If you just do one a day, but by the time I'll tell you, by the time you get to the middle of Ramadan, you'll be doing like 2 a day.
Yep.
And then toward the end, and I last Ramadan, alhamdulillah, I was able to get to like almost 2.5, right?
MashaAllah.
But I'm saying it's all from planning, right? It's not hard, but I know a lot of people want to do it, but they just delay.
And
they don't have the plan to do it. Like they'll just start randomly, or they'll forget where they recited last time, or they won't. In that structure, the lack of structure helps them fail, right? I mean, if they had it, then so I would advise that if you really want to do it, just do. I mean, maybe we can put it up, but I mean, it's really just from the surah and the ayah number, and you just know what is what one juz, and then you just make sure you hit those every day, and it becomes easier. And one thing you'll notice about the Quran is that as you start reading it, it becomes easier and easier. Yeah. If you don't read the Quran and you're a foreigner or even a native Arabic speaker, it's difficult because you're not used to reading in that format. But as you begin to read, you'll notice itself in the 3rd, 4th, 5th day, it just becomes very, very easy. And next thing you know, you're just gliding through it, like you build your own rhythm.
Yeah. It's the power of habit, man. So, one message that I have, are you cool if we just get into the Ramadan segment right now? Is that cool?
That's cool.
Instead of it being a finisher. Yeah. So, one thing that I noticed is that I had like many people contact me and they're scared out of their mind about Ramadan. Like,
you get really hungry.
No, it's not about the hunger. They get really anxious. Like, the top 5 things I hear is, number 1, I haven't prepared enough for Ramadan. The second thing...
prepared how? Like, they stop caffeine, like, physically?
No. Ibadat and just ready for the month. Like, they
don't pray 5 times a day? What's going on here?
Well, exactly, right? So, we'll get to that. The other is that, oh my God, I drink coffee, like you were talking about. Oh my God, like, I didn't fast throughout the year. How am I going to be ready for this? All these excuses, right? And I understand the anxiety behind it, right? Because it just feels like everything's going to change. But it's exactly what you said, right? Yeah. Is if you're not used to, if you're very, very afraid of Ramadan, which you shouldn't be. Yeah. It's a blessing, right? You should, number 1, just see, are you doing all your fards? Okay. If you do, just continue what you're doing right now and you carry it out to Ramadan, you're good, right? Someone can say, oh man, I got to do lots of dhikr, bro. I'm not used to doing. It's like, do you do dhikr after your salawat? The 33 of Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, and finish 100 with La ilaha illallah, wahdahu la sharika lah. Yeah, dude, you got your dhikr portion too now. Because in Ramadan, everything's pronounced, everything is multiplied, right? Yeah. And the prescription that I use this on my own kids, right? And I saw some amazing results. Every day we're going to read 10 minutes of Quran. I'm talking about outside of Ramadan. Every day, but we can't miss a day, but it has to be consistent. So 10 minutes in the month of Sha'ban, then we do 15 minutes. And then Ramadan comes, we do half an hour every day. And we do it together. I'm not going to be one of those people that are going to be like, all right, have you guys read Quran? Okay, well, I'm on my phone and stuff like that, right? I'm not going to do that. We have to do it with our children. And when we see our children do it, it becomes a lot easier for us to do, right? So start from today and do 20 minutes. I know there's only a few days left for Ramadan. When Ramadan hits, just do 30 minutes. If you can't do 30 minutes, do 20 minutes. But do it every day. And pick a good time that you can do it where you're not going to be busy. The other thing is, busy is the key word, right? We make ourselves busy, and what's our excuse? We're like on the phone all the time, right? Ramadan is a time where when you get home from work, or if you work from home, once you're done with work, put your phone away, because 90% of the time we use a phone, we actually really don't need it. Just that 10%, put your phone away and have a certain ringtone if it's only for work stuff, or like your mom and your dad, and that's it. Put it away, and you'll realize you end up getting bored because you have so much time in Ramadan.
Yeah.
Right? And that goes, I've been guilty of this, like watching food videos while you're fasting. It's, dude, just don't do it.
Yeah, what is up with that?
It's because you're craving and you want to know what to prepare and all that. It's crazy. we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I want to talk, because that's a very strange
It's very strange.
Yeah.
Me and Mort will send Sheikh like a bunch of pictures of burgers and juicy food.
I started doing that back too.
Yeah,
though.
not me. Maybe you did that. I never did that. I don't crave food.
You
like
did that, and
yeah.
I started doing it back, and I started doing it every year to people. Yeah. I gotta stop. I did that last year too.
Yeah, but I'm
right, like 2 hours before Iftar.
To be fair, it doesn't bother me, but I just find it very weird that if you're hungry, like you're looking at food.
Yeah, but because it actually riles up a whole lot of like feelings and like dopamine levels and all that crazy stuff. Yeah, so we'll get into that, right? But one thing is, look, we have to be very, very honest with ourselves. And if you're not able to do enough during Ramadan, look at exactly what it is that you're doing that's consuming your time, right?
Yeah.
And that, a lot of it has to do with your phone usage.
Yeah.
And if you're able to take away your phone, especially in Ramadan, inshallah, that's going to be a lasting thing after Ramadan. You're going to end up spending a lot more time with your kids. You're going to end up embracing boredom, right? Embracing boredom is very, very important, right? And if you haven't done it in Sha'ban or the month before, you have to learn how to embrace boredom, right? I'll give you a small example. When we were flying out to Florida, do you remember on the way there, at least for me, my Wi-Fi wasn't working at all. I had no internet access.
Oh, in the beginning, yeah.
So I was bored, and I was really uncomfortable, and I was sitting next to this one old lady, and I let her use an armrest. So I'm just like this in a seat like this. I'm really uncomfortable, but I was bored out of my mind, right? Because we were sitting in the plane for a while too before we took off. So you know those Sky Mall things, the magazines they have. I read the whole entire thing. I've never done that in my life. It was 85 pages. When we landed, I was done, bro, and I learned a whole lot. I swear, dude. Italian cooking, Florida life, and all that kind of dude. There's all this cool stuff, right? And
you know the Wi-Fi came on like 15 minutes later.
Yeah, but I didn't use it.
No. I was desperately checking.
Yeah, I didn't use it. So I ended up bringing so there's this concept of embracing boredom, right?
Yeah.
And you have to be able to understand that boredom is there for you because your brain will naturally, your mind will naturally find things interesting.
Yeah.
So how does it relate to Ramadan? Yes, for the first week, if you can't use your phone, you're gonna have to detox from it, right? Just like when you detox from anything. But the thing is that this is the only month. You know, Ozzy, I like to use his words. He said something beautiful. I was talking to me the other day. Our friend Ozzy, Umar Zaman, yes. Episode 8, right?
Yeah.
He said,
you remember that?
Yeah, of course, bro. Yeah. So he said something really amazing to me. He said, bro, Ramadan is the biggest favor for us because if we didn't have it, we'd just be constantly free falling. Yeah. And Allah knows where we would be if we didn't have Ramadan.
Yeah.
We'd just be in this free fall.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden Ramadan comes and it stops everything. And Allah puts you in a situation where He orders you to fast, but He puts you in an environment where you have no other choice.
Yeah.
So He puts you almost like corners you, but that cornering is your way to Jannah, right?
So you know what it is? It's like you have to be a little uncomfortable to make progress.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're in your comfort zone, you can't make progress.
You're right.
It's coming out of your comfort zone. This is a divine intervention to come out of your comfort zone and say, hey, listen, you got to change some things around.
Yeah.
There's time for perspective. And also what I've known is the people who benefit the most out of Ramadan are the ones who keep a schedule.
Yeah. You're right.
Well,
you're right.
Here's the thing. I think a lot of brothers who are in dawah and stuff, they're very eager to give a lot of Ramadan advice and prep and stuff, but sometimes I think they hit a certain segment of the audience, yes, but there is a large segment of the audience who sees those goals, like for example, reading a juz a day. There's no way in heck they're going to read a juz a day. The people who look at that advice that some duat give to their followers or listeners or whatever, that the advice is, it's not proportional to, it's not a realistic.
It seems like a mountain to people, climbing a mountain.
It's not a realistic objective to give to people. So in certain situations, at least for myself, right? I know it's very difficult for me to do one juz a day. Okay, I'll be honest. It's likely not going to happen for me. It would be a good accomplishment for me to memorize a surah.
Yeah. What about a time limit? What do you think about a time limit? 20 minutes.
It doesn't matter about 20 minutes or reciting a juz a day. It's about, for me, the way I come away with it is meaningful progress that you set for yourself, where you were at a certain point before Ramadan and you've elevated your station to a better place where you will be able to ride out. At the end of the Ramadan, you are able to come away with some lasting progress, right? For example, some people struggle with basic things like, a prayer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when duat, religious guys, I don't know what you want to call them, but when they start handing out all this advice and I got all these goals for you, average people, regular Muslims, they look at that and they're like, well, that's him. There's no way I'm going to do that. And they kind of, stick to what they were doing every other Ramadan before, which is eat iftar, watch TV, and
no, that's why I said simple goals, right? But let me, if I can interject.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't actually think about this, but the conditions that you had just put on yourself that you said, right? That I want to come out with something meaningful. The way I see it from the outside is you've put conditions on yourself thinking that is what is considered progress, that you have to see something meaningful come out, right? But in reality, I think if this is you're talking about, maybe because a lot of times you're talking about another person, but you say it's you.
For example, if it's like if I'm not praying, right? If I'm not praying at all, let's just make it very simple. If I'm not praying, maybe a goal for that person would be just to pray 5 times a day.
No, you're right. That was my next point.
Yeah.
If you're gonna pray tarawih and miss fajr, then you know what? Make a priority. Do the fard. Do your fajr. Even if you have to go to sleep early, you're like, dude, I go in Ramadan. It's so rough for me. I pray tarawih. By the time I go home, it's 12 o'clock and I can't wake up for fajr. Guess what, dude? Go to sleep right after Isha. And if you know for sure you're not gonna wake up for fajr, skip tarawih and do fajr, bro. That's very, very important. So that's why I said, so if you're praying your 5 daily prayers, if you're not praying your 5 daily prayers, in Ramadan, do your 5 daily prayers. But the Quran part is very, very important, right? And I'm sorry I'm dwelling on this. Is that if you give yourself a time limit of 20 minutes a day, not you as Sim, just anybody, and you said, I want to memorize, that's awesome, memorizing. But the thing is, relationship with the Quran is proven and tested with its recitation, not with its memorization.
Yep.
So memorization is for people who are actually used to memorizing. Yes, their relationship is different than somebody who doesn't read at all. I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying if 15 minutes is doable, just do it, because we know that the Quran is shifa. Allah says in the Quran, even if, when do you understand it, you don't understand it. How many people have we seen do ruqya on non-Muslims? A Muslim scholar does ruqya on a non-Muslim to remove black magic from them, right? So the Quran is shifa, it's barakah, and just listening to it and reading it is an act of worship. Every letter you read is 10 hasanat, right? And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expands, multiplies that. The other thing is that reading the Quran and dedicating the time for the Quran, just psychologically, forget about religiously. When you sit down with the Quran and you read it, it gives you this power of habit, right? That every day, 15 minutes, I'm going to do it. Now, the good thing is, I always tell those people, hey, dude, you don't have to finish the Quran. Just do it. Right? Just do it. Even if it's 15 minutes, just do it. Forget about all the people who are finishing the Quran. You don't have to finish the Quran, even in Taraweeh. The one thing that made me really happy when I went to Mosque Foundation a few years ago, I think it was like 2017, they prayed 8 raka'at. Bro, those 8 raka'at finished in like half an hour. And one thing I saw is the masjid was full all the way through. And I was like, dude, this is so cool, because for people who can't stand for 2 hours, right? But they're still spending their salah in jama'ah, right? And we get into hadith of Rasulullah about that, right? But they're spending, it became so easy that I was like, dude, it's beautiful that they don't have a goal of finishing the Quran because the masjid's full and the brothers are united. Everyone's standing shoulder to shoulder. You know what I'm saying? It was a beautiful thing, and the masjid was full the whole way through. Like people, it's unfortunate that when 8 rak'ats finish, a lot of them just leave, not because it's a fiqhi opinion. It's because, dude, I gotta go. I can't do this for any longer. Yeah. Like an average person is not like, oh, I believe that 8 rak'ats is and the 20. Average person not thinking that. Like, dude, chutti,
no, like 8 is sufficient.
You know what I'm saying?
I got at least 8.
Yeah, I got at least 8 in.
8 is the minimum.
So even if you're doing tarawih, bro, you don't have to finish the entire Quran.
See, that's my thing. Like, and this is why I tell people. See, here's the thing. When you put goals on your self-imposed goals, sometimes you limit yourself. Yeah. Trust me when I tell you. I know what you're saying. It doesn't have to be a goal, but trust me when I tell you, doing a juz a day is not a lot. And what I mean by this is I know people read slow. I mean, I'm not saying you have to read it fast and do it within like 45 minutes. It can take you the whole day. But break it up. Yeah. But I'm saying even if you don't hit it, that's okay. But you have
it doesn't have to be all in one sitting either.
Yeah, I'm saying, dude, that's what I'm saying, just from verse to verse. Like, that's why you have to break it, chart it down, because you know where you are. But even if you don't finish, let's say you're just behind one day, or you go forward, whatever it is, it's okay. But the fact that you're pushing yourself, this habit, and you'll find yourself, wallahi, I'll tell you, outside Ramadan, reading Quran.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say about a lot of converts, people new to Islam, they can't read the Quran. Can they just read the translation? What's a good alternative for them?
Of course, yeah. So reading the translation, the meaning, or the tafsir is actually a form of dhikr, right? Yeah. One of the best form of dhikrs, the best form of dhikr, obviously, is salah in the Quran. Yeah. The understanding of the Quran is obviously up to par with somebody, especially who's not able to read, right? So one thing I would say is this is 2-part. Is one of the conditions of salah, if you have control over it, is reading Surah Al-Fatiha properly. So in Ramadan, we should all make a goal. If we don't read it properly, we should learn how to read Surah Al-Fatiha properly, because reading Surah Al-Fatiha properly brings its own wealth of ajr, but also you're perfecting your salah if you perfect Surah Al-Fatiha.
You mean tajweed?
Tajweed-wise, or just basic pronunciation. Yeah. I'm not saying go to somebody high-level ijazah guy and try to get an ijazah in Ramadan.
You're talking about basic tajweed. So
basic tajweed of when someone listens to you, they're like, okay, alhamdulillah, I know that I can lead a salah. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing. And just start off very small. If somebody is not able to read the Quran, they're in the process of learning. Number one, seek out somebody that's going to be willing to teach you Surah Al-Fatiha. I think any Muslim will do that. It takes about 5 minutes a day for Ramadan. 5 minutes every day, 10 minutes every day. You put in 300 minutes, bro. Again, consistency and power of habit, right? The next is that the translation of Surah Al-Fatiha is very, very simple, right? Yeah. Start off with Surah Al-Fatiha, then move to, okay, I'm going to read the translation of Surah An-Nas today. How long does that take? Like half a minute?
And you won't have to memorize each one word for word.
You don't.
But even if you understand what the general meaning of the verse is, so when you recite this in your prayer, it not only that will help you recite it properly, because you know that it means a certain thing, yeah, but also you'll feel more khushu in your prayer if you know what you're saying. Yeah. Rather than just standing there and saying something without having any this is going back and speaking about benefit, right? Yeah. So reading something, at least knowing the general meaning of what you're saying, is an immense benefit you can take outside Ramadan.
Yeah. Right. And I got this from a convert brother that used to be in Mauritania. He didn't know that much Arabic, he didn't know that much Quran, but because he used to read the translations all the time of whatever he memorized, bro, he knew it like word for word of like the noble Quran. So what I told some brothers is, I said, every day just read one translation of one surah, right? If you're not able to read the Quran very proficiently. And then just rinse and repeat the last 10 surahs every day. Eventually, you could read the translation of the last 10 surahs within 10 minutes. Just do that for 10 minutes every day. Next thing you know, by the end of Ramadan, every time you hear the last 10 surahs, you know exactly what the imam is reading, right? So that's that part. The other is that there's this amazing hack, right? Is as far as dhikr is concerned, which is very, very much undermined, is sending salams on Rasulullah. Yep. Right? Look how magnificent this is, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran. There's only one place in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that He does something and the angels do something, so you should do it too. He says, Inna Allah, indeed Allah, wa malaikatuhu, and his angels, yusalluna ala nabi, send salutations on Rasulullah sallam, ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Usually the surahs begin, the verses begin with ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Allah's telling us to do something, right? This verse, he's telling us, okay, this is very important. I and the angels send blessings upon Muhammad sallam, ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O believers, sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Send salutations upon him. The hadith of Rasulullah is, whoever sends upon me. Now this is amazing. This is how you get past the ranks of the angels, right? Whoever sends salutations upon me, sallallahu alayhi ashara. Allah sends 10 blessings upon that person.
Allahu Akbar.
Right? And look how beautiful this is. Just dhikr, simple dhikr. Allah says, فَاذْكُرُونِي أَذْكُرْكُمْ. Remember me and I will remember you by name. So imagine that you just say Subhanallah intentionally, right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the gathering of the angels says that Sim remembered me, right? So if you want a shortcut and a hack, not just to remember Allah, but Allah to remember you, guaranteed seat in Jannah, all you got to do is a few simple things, man. Send salutations on Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah will send 10 on you, right? Not only are you doing it, Allah and the angels do it too. What better example is that? And then just remember Allah and He'll remember you in the gathering of the angels. Like, what else do you want? You know what I'm saying?
That's mind-blowing.
It's a hack, bro. You could do it in 2 minutes. So if that's all you need to do, that's what you need to do, bro. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't be afraid of Ramadan, bro.
Yeah. And you know, another thing, I'll tell you something. And this is a little bit outside too. You were mentioning going back to being afraid of Ramadan. I don't think they're afraid of Ramadan. They're afraid of underperforming and then being overwhelmed by Ramadan, right? And I will say this. It's like when you want to go swimming, you just got to jump in the pool, right? Yeah. Like once you get in, it's good. Like you're going to feel good when you're in. It's nice and warm. It's good. You're going to be all right. But if you spend your time...
Don't just dip your feet, just jump in.
If you're dipping your feet, the chicken, like, you know what I mean, running back out, it's not going to work, right? I mean, like, you're going to always be intimidated. And and I promise you, when you get into it, the first, like in the pool, the first couple seconds is going to be difficult. Here in the first couple of days, it's going to be difficult. But you yourself know, even with fasting, people can admit to this. Toward the end of Ramadan, fasting is easy. That's not even the most difficult part anymore. All right? Usually people are just tired because of the routine. It's not the fasting anymore. You're used to. You could continue out fasting outside of Ramadan if you wanted to. Right? By that time, you've built this muscle. And I'm saying that that muscle building, if you extend that to like reading Quran or making salawat or making dhikr, those are the easy ones you can do outside Ramadan. Yeah. Because, you know, fasting is difficult outside. Allah makes it easy in Ramadan to fast. Yeah. There's a barakah in Ramadan to fast. You're right. But outside it, of course, it's difficult. That's why the month of like Sha'ban, the white days, these are all beneficial. But the habit of making dhikr, like every Friday saying, Allahumma salli wa sallam ala Sayyidina wa Habibina wa Nabina Muhammad. You know, these are easy to say. Yeah,
and that's kind of considered an extended version. Anyone who just got intimidated by that, you could just say, Allahumma salli wa sallam ala Nabina Muhammad. That's it. That's it. Yeah. That's it. And
so it's all about building habits.
It is. So what I did with my kids is I said we're going to start off with 10 minutes. A majority of the time they read more than 10 minutes. Oh wait, I just want to finish this. Oh, I'm almost done with this page. They end up reading 15 minutes.
And that's the beauty of the Quran because you're like just one more juz.
That's it.
I'm sorry, one more ruku. You just want to go to that one part because you're like, you're getting this rhythm. Yeah. I can't describe it, but you find this once you start reading and you get over. Like, of course, you want to focus on how you're reciting, and of course, Allah knows when someone has difficulty. But once I guarantee you, if you try to make the effort, Allah will make it easy for you. Yeah. And you'll get into this rhythm, and you're like, hey, I just did a juz, I can probably just do a little more. And you want to do more because what happens is, as you start doing this, and you know there will be words that you identify in the Quran, even if you don't speak Arabic. Of course. And you'll get an idea of what the Quran is speaking of. Yes. Oh, this is the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Yeah. This is the story of Sayyidina Musa. Yeah. This is the story of Khidr. This is the story of when Adam was the angels were told to prostrate to him. You know, and so you feel this connection with the Quran as you're building it, and so you want to go a little bit more and a little bit more, but you have to not fear that. You can't say just look at the clock. You have to actually just put that effort in, and I promise you, it'll be. And you don't have to do it all. Like people say, honestly, like. For most people who can read the Quran, like a juz will probably take them, like, if you're really good, like 30, 45 minutes, right? Yeah, I mean, but that's not, I don't expect anyone to do that. Like, I mean, that's really if you know how to read. when I first started like just doing this habit, in like many Ramadans ago, I would spread it throughout the day. Like I would do 2 pages throughout the day. After every like maybe 2 hours to do 2 pages, and it makes it so much easier because I just do it at pages. And then I realized, but I just took a jizz what it is, what page I have to stop. But you just get through it, and it ended up being like 6, 7, 8 pages, whatever it was. Yeah. But throughout the whole day, it's consistent. You know what I mean?
But like, I'm glad you said that. You know what makes it even more easier to do? When you take other distractions out.
Yeah.
That's why I was talking about embracing boredom. When you take your phone out of the picture, number one, so much time frees up.
Hold the mushaf.
Yeah, dude.
Like, take a mushaf that you have. I know people, it's a strange concept now because of the phone, the computer, but grab a mushaf and you hold this mushaf and you read it from it.
Build a relationship with your mushaf and preserve it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, one of the things is people saying, oh, well, I have the mushaf on my phone, but you get notifications and you get all these other
and you're viewing other
messages.
Things on there too.
Exactly.
Right.
So all these other.
No, I'm just talking about
like.
That was very strange.
I'm talking about world star fights.
I'm
talking about world star fights, bro.
Oh, come on. Let's keep it PG.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I just kept it PG.
Astaghfirullah, Sheikh.
You know what I'm saying? But I think that look, man. I know that people are not willing to. People are really, really afraid. Again, because of wanting to have this really, really high bar of Ramadan.
Yeah.
Bro, just embrace Ramadan. Do everything that you do regularly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And action point number 1, if you think that you're deficient in your Surah Al-Fatiha, just find somebody. Anyone will do it for you for 5 minutes a day. Bro. You know what I'm saying?
Another thing, one Ramadan a few years ago that my family did was the entire Ramadan, we watched the Omar series every night.
Oh, great. Yeah.
So we got the whole set.
It's 30 parts, right?
Yeah, it's 30 parts. So it originally aired on the Arab channel MBC for Ramadan.
But it was Ramadan series, right?
So you can even halalify your entertainment, because I know there's families out there who just won't be going to Tarawih. It's just something that's not part of the cards, or it's mosque is part. I don't know what.
Yeah, you're right.
But let's just say. But you can still make your entertainment halal too. So you're not watching silly shows like Rami or whatever.
The typical nonsense.
Right. You're right.
I had to take a shot.
I know you did.
But you're right. You're absolutely right. Like there's good entertainment that you can use that would
there's some people are gonna do it anyway.
No, because that show even made fun of like Muslims. In Ramadan, that they would come home, or after they break the fast, they just all sit in front of the TV and watch TV. But even that, you can make it something that's productive that your entire family will watch, and that show is filled with some amazing roller coasters of emotions where you just you have so much closeness that you bring that you
develop a love, right?
Yeah, you develop such an attachment and love for the life of the Prophet, the sacrifices that they made, every single thing that they experienced. You kind of, your being gets attached to.
Because you read about it, now you see it.
Yeah. Not only that,
some people didn't even read about it, but they didn't. Like, this is like their way of learning just what the life of the Prophet was. You know?
Not only that. I think deep down, every Muslim feels like that's our collective history. Like, you feel proud of that. Like, that's Umar, our Khalif, our Amir al-Mu'mineen, the one who did that, right? Like, you feel proud of that. And it inspires them. And Sim's absolutely right, because sometimes kids need motivation, right? They need their superheroes. They need people to look up to. It may not be a father or role model. It may not be you guys, right? It may be someone else, and that's fine. But who better than to be the Sahabas? Who better, right? So what he's saying is a point spot on, that try to make those changes that reflect positivity of Islam and consciousness, right? Of it, like, you know what I mean? Like, so they remember. But I would say the other thing too. There are, and this goes back to the idea of trying to find benefit in Ramadan. And I will say this much, and I think I've told you this before too. I'll give you a small hack. There's that moment. At least in my fasting, there's 2 waves. There's that mid-afternoon wave where you're like, oh, I'm so hungry, right? It hits you, that hunger pain, right? And then that subsides. And then it's just right after Asr. Like just before it's like Maghrib time, you start feeling like you're hurting, but the draining of nutrients, right? You start feeling tired and I'm telling you, if anybody here wants a hack to deal with those last few hours, I know it sounds absolutely crazy, but exercise. In those in that last,
it dulls your hunger.
I will tell you this right now. Don't do the full 2 hours. I'm saying take a nap, whatever for now. Make use of kaylula, but that hour before iftar.
You know what I would do? I would go swimming.
Yeah.
But don't swallow the water. Sheikh would make fun of me like Sim is going to the swimming pool to drink
I drink it on accident, guys. He comes back all quenched.
Yeah. No, but
are you sure you're fasting, bro?
No, I would keep my head above the water.
Yeah. So, but last Ramadan, I mean, Sim had opportunity to spend it together. An hour before iftar, I would just go for a walk in an hour. Yeah. Just walk. Not even running, just walking. And I guarantee you, not only will you feel, you'll have time. And here's the best part about that. If you walk instead of doing this hardcore exercise, if you walk, and not only are you taking, your body naturally gets out of that hunger mode, but it not only is it healthy, but that's the time I'd make my adhkar.
Yep, that's the best time.
Because you're just before Maghrib, and you're coming in and you're walking. You don't have to be on your phone or anything. You can just simply, you have an hour with you and Allah and your health, right?
Yeah,
and
man.
you're just moving.
And that's a great point, because a lot of times we get hungry. We think about food when we're just sitting around, right? You got to get out of the house, feel that fresh air, bro. You know what I'm saying? Me and my family, we all go out. Yeah, and you just go out together, and it's fun, bro. Walk for like half an hour, 45 minutes, come back, bam, you're good, dude. You know? And don't underestimate, even when it comes to iftar, don't underestimate giving iftar to other people, whether you're fasting or not fasting. Give them, dude, you get the same ajr as them. Yeah. You know, just simply as here's a date, here's water. Just that's it.
Why don't you talk about it too, the sadaqa, meaning increasing your sadaqa in Ramadan.
Yeah. So Rasulullah, like a beautiful hadith that he said, give sadaqa walau bi shaqq at-tamr, right? Even if it's a portion of a date, right? Just do it. Right, so imagine in Ramadan, there's many types of sadaqa, right? There's sadaqa that are like not monetary, and there's sadaqa smiling at your mother, smiling at your family. You know what I'm saying? Hugging your kids, hugging your wife, whatever the case is, right? All that stuff is a bunch of sadaqa. Smiling at people. If you see somebody yatim, putting your hand on their head, right? A sahabi came to Rasulullah and said, "Ya Rasulullah, my heart is very hard. It's a very, very heavy heart." And Rasulullah said, give. He said, I don't have anything to give. Right? He said, put your hand on the head of a miskin or a yatim. The hadith, I think, says yatim, Wallahu alam. But he said, put your hand on the head of people who are in need, right? Yeah. And that itself is a type of sadaqah. But then you have the sadaqah of giving. Like, there's a reason why all of these people, it's not by coincidence, they know that people are going to give in Ramadan. So they have, iftar drives. They have all these, other donations and investments in the Muslim community. Utilize those, man.
And you don't have to do one whole thing. You can team up with people and say, listen, I'm going to cover, like some people like iftar for like a whole weekend for $1,000.
Yeah.
You don't have to, oh my God, $1,000 so expensive. You say, listen, let's all four get together. It's $200. We can do it, right? From us. And that's fine, right? The whole idea is to reap that, get that ajr that you can, because everything is multiplied. And Ramadan is that month where you start building habits, but you also collect the ajr for it. Like, so you want to do whatever you can. And even something like, if you don't have money, like even just going helping the masjid.
Yeah, bro.
Just vacuuming the masjid floor, getting ready for Taraweeh.
Forget about just vacuuming, just picking something off the floor that doesn't belong there.
Just something that's simple, that will bring you attachment to the masjid, but also bring you ajr for doing sadaqah, right? Like just stuff like that you can do. And I know it's gonna be difficult because with COVID, a lot of us haven't been going to the masjid. I know for me, only until this year, maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, I started attending the masjid again. I wasn't comfortable going to the masjid, but for many people, it's going to be difficult, right? Yeah. So, you know what I mean? But these are the things that Ramadan would highlight, right? Yeah. As you start considering, like Ramadan would bring people in the masjid. It would be, as you mentioned, there'd be activity. There would be opportunity to do sadaqah. Yeah. You would find people who are in need. Even socializing with your brother, asking if he needs something. Yeah. That's a form of care. It's a form of brotherhood, right? Yeah. Those kinds of things that you focus on. Try to focus on the personality of the Prophet and how he applied himself with his brother. I mean, with the his companions, but how even the companions are with each other. That is a form of increasing your ibadah in Ramadan, and then building a habit. Because that habit, let's say you meet somebody, you take a time in Ramadan in Taraweeh to actually speak to the person next to you, you're praying to.
Yeah.
But
nobody does that. Yeah.
That bond can last easy after Ramadan.
Yeah.
Maybe you have something in common. Allah. Maybe you actually become the best of friends.
Yeah. And you make the brother feel good, man. You know what I'm saying? And again, I know we're just throwing a whole bunch of stuff at you guys, but this was just to prove to us that it's Ramadan you shouldn't be intimidated by Ramadan. It's so easy to always inside Ramadan, outside Ramadan, to do lots of good, and the opportunities are endless. So, you know, just pick from your fruit, man. You know what I'm saying? And just embrace Ramadan and know that it's just a favor from Allah, man.
Can you mention that hadith? I think there's one, I'm forgetting exactly what it is, but
about the Quran, whoever reads the Quran, and he's really good at it.
The one who wastes Ramadan. There's one about the one who, when Ramadan comes and he doesn't take advantage of it.
Oh, yes. The one who, so let me just remember by the ending of the hadith is that the only thing he benefited was from hunger and thirst. That's the only thing that he got. That's the hadith you're referring to, right?
Yes, so some will fast, but they'll only...
whoever doesn't refrain...
anyways,
it'll come.
I thought you knew it, yeah.
It'll come back to me, inshallah. But man, so again, the possibilities are endless, dude. You know what I'm saying?
So let's kind of shift gears a second. So, what is your favorite food to break iftar with? I mean, to have iftar with. If I tell you my routine, you guys will be shocked.
Go ahead, tell us your routine, Mort.
You won't believe
Mort's routine. Can we name this?
Last the longer I can last.
Yeah. I agree.
And the same thing happens to me outside Ramadan. If I eat a big breakfast, I'm hungry a couple hours later.
Yeah. I got it. I get that.
But I can't, because for me, I can't have a iftar, number one, I can't eat a big iftar.
Yeah.
Sim knows I can't. I mean, you cook.
Yeah, I've had so many iftars with Mort. He barely has any food during
I can't. My physically, my stomach just shrinks. I can't do it. It's just too much for my own time, right? Yeah. So
you feel horrible afterwards.
But then what happens is, that's the point. I'd rather just wait and then eat later. Like, I'll snack a little bit here and there, but I won't eat a big meal. Yeah. And then combine suhoor and futur, especially this time of year where the do you want me to eat like iftar, dinner, and suhoor all within like a 4-hour period, like 5-hour period? I can't, bro. I can't do it, man. Yeah. Like, it's
Brother Shad writes in the chat, how many people drink ruafza? Oh. That's me, bro.
Sim got me hooked last year on ruafza. I never used to drink it, and he used to make this ruafza shake for me. And it just became this routine. It's so refreshing.
Oh, the one with the yogurt? The one you make with the yogurt?
No, not even yogurt. It was just literally milk and ruafza, and you just blend that, and a little bit of sugar. And it was just so... and some ice.
Yeah.
And you refresh that, and you just blend it with that little super blender.
Yeah.
And it was just like this...
The little ninja blender.
I can't describe it. It's just like this little taste of paradise.
Yeah, because people... I feel like a lot of people make it just a traditional desi way where they just put milk and ruafza in. You got to make some froth, you know? So,
yeah, bro, I'm gonna have to switch gears on that thing because my family loves that stuff, bro. I can't stand ruafza, bro.
Really?
It reminds you of like some like.
But how do you? It
reminds you of like the rose ither that people put on.
I don't like that.
Yeah, well, no, I don't like that either.
Rose ither reminds me of dead people.
Well, I think it should just belong on girls.
You know that at the funeral they'll.
And you drink it? You love drinking it?
No, but it doesn't. No, wait. Ruafza does not smell like rose ither. There's a difference. When you have to dilute it well with milk, or ice cream, and just mix it, blend it well. If you just drink if it's like mixed with water, it's not that great. I'll be honest. It's too rosy, too fruity for me, right? But I'm telling you, one day, let Sim blend this with some ice and some sugar in there and some milk.
I'll give it a try.
Ooh.
Folks, there's some connection issues that are happening.
I think we're back. They said we were good.
Yeah, but if it happens again, it'll sort itself out at the end of it. At the end of the show, if you want to come back later and watch the show, it'll be fine.
Exercise patience.
Just make sure you like and subscribe before you leave. Well, hopefully you don't. It should sort itself out soon.
Yeah, man. So no, so what my go-to is, because I hate being lazy afterwards. There's a few things I have to have. Date or two with the almond in the middle. Sometimes I put a little bit of cream cheese in there.
Oh, I love that.
Cream cheese is the date.
Good.
Glass of water. Pray maghrib. Have a light snack. Go for salah. There's something about eating after tarawih, bro. Food tastes 100 times. Oh, and I have to have like a little bit of coffee, to charge caffeine, myself. Yeah. I'm a caffeine junkie, but the food after tarawih, bro, it tastes manifolds better, bro. You could be eating stale chips and taste amazing, bro.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that this, because what happens is like you get that chance to let your stomach open up.
Yeah.
And because what happens is essentially, for me at least, I feel like my body is being shocked when I break my fast. Like if I just eat things too quickly.
That's actually what happens to your system, yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I can't deal with it. It's overload, bro.
Yeah.
Like
and it's a horrible feeling.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
And you're trying to pray, and it's like horrible. You don't want to pray. Let's be honest, bro. When you're that full, you don't want to pray, bro.
And honestly, like sometimes I've done that, and like my stomach hurts. Like I feel this cramp. Like I'm like, oh.
Gases. You have to gases.
Gases. Oh, that's another thing we have to talk about.
No, okay. Let's start moving on to different things.
You know, I'm saying one thing, but just real quick.
He really wants to talk about his gas.
No, not my gas. I'm saying if you're gassy, don't come to the masjid. You know what I mean? Stay home. Just deal with that issue.
People won't listen to that.
It's that Dakar that's nasty, though, bro.
They don't care.
That Tarawih Dakar, bro.
Yeah, they'll belch right in your face.
It will, bro. Yeah.
And they blow their like they're like, oh.
It's always
Yeah.
right in Tarawih. Yeah.
It
always happens.
But yeah, let's move on. Sam, you're right. Let's move on.
Okay.
What do you want to talk about?
Sheikh, Will and Jada, whose side are you on? Will and
I'm
Chris
on
Rock,
neither. I know that you guys are a little more analytical than I am, and you guys have a nice thing you can pick out of this. I have seen so many memes about this. It's driving me. It's everywhere.
Did you? I can't remember any event that has happened in the past 12 to 15 years.
I thought it was a parody.
Huh?
I thought it was a joke. I thought it was all set up.
Oh, you thought it was a
setup? I thought it was set up.
When he starts, the Oscars, if anyone knows the Oscars, it's not supposed to be like that. I mean, they could do things that are set up, but not in that way. He was screaming his head off.
Yeah. No, even the smack, I was like, it looked a little fake.
Yeah.
But then, yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't. When me and Mort saw it together.
Did I show you this one?
No, don't share that.
No, but I mean, did I show you this one?
Well, yeah, you showed it to me, bro. I can't share that on
I'm
air.
not going to show it on the air. I'm just saying. This has to be the best one.
Okay, well, you're showing a joke.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. They have
all right,
to,
bro. It's
okay.
So,
I can't show you, but I'm thinking everyone out there knows that there's memes floating around. I'm sure you have your favorites.
Yeah. So anyway,
but who do you think is? What do you think is the right thing here? He doesn't want to comment. He doesn't know. What do you think?
He knows.
Well,
he just doesn't want to talk about it.
I don't think he cares.
He watched every single meme that was sent his way. He watched it with delight.
Do you want me to say what I think?
He considered himself above it. But
the only thing I will say about this, and you guys can talk the rest of the time. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
Sam,
go ahead.
Is number one, Chris Rock took that smack like a champ, bro.
Yeah.
And the recovery that he had, and he made the show continue. That was crazy.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
So I will say this much, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think that Chris Rock took it like a champ, and shows that Will doesn't slap it hard. But here's what I think. What I'm going to say this here, okay? There's a lot of problems with this. This man obviously hit Chris Rock because Chris Rock was a low-hanging fruit. If Chris Rock happened to be Mike Tyson or John Jones making that comment, Will Smith wouldn't have slapped him. And the reason why I mention that is because there has been a lot building up with Jada. I mean, this whole infidelity thing and her like smashing her son's friend who's a rapper. I mean, just complete like just degeneracy, right? And that had to be building up inside of Will Smith. And it gets to a point where he had to let it out and he couldn't. And he saw a low-hanging fruit in that moment, and it happens. He explodes, right? It's just what it is. But for me, I blame Will Smith. You married this woman knowing how she is. She belonged to the streets. And now you're getting mad over all this stuff. You know what's going to happen. A woman with that much controversy and that low standard opinion of you, and you bring her to the Grammys with you in front of a comedian who's hosting it, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah. It was the joke wasn't even that bad.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think many statements came out in the press that he didn't even know that she had some kind of alopecia problem.
Yeah, he didn't. A lot of people didn't.
So, first of all, the thing is, every one of us who's listening, who's in this room, we've all seen this kind of kid growing up, the pretty boy kid who gets up, sees the easy target, and tries to show to everyone like, hey, look, I stood up for something, you know.
Yeah.
You know, these pretty boys, they get a license to do this because we've seen them from the playground. They get a license from the crowd because they're popular, they're pretty. No one challenges them. And he's been getting that his whole life.
So are you saying that's kind of like he's in such loss of reality he doesn't even realize like there's going to be ramifications?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He doesn't realize what, like, who in their right mind, even if you're offended, like you
by a comedian, which is understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least do it backstage.
You pull him off to the side, or you use the stadium or the podium when you get the award to call him out and say like, hey, what you did was wrong there. My wife suffers from this genetic condition. Whatever it is, any other man. By you storming up there, now he's gotten forever. He's going to be labeled with this, and him and his wife are going to be made fun of till the time immemorial. They're going to be the laughing stock. Imagine being that couple, bro.
Yeah.
Of all that wealth and fame and power that they've acquired, they're just the butt of every joke.
But I have a question. Does he have a big following because of this thing that he did?
But he might. I mean, he might gain some. Listen,
no. A lot of that's a good question. A lot of women support him.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that because so you're gonna gain following from women, modern women, because what this is symbolizing is that a woman like Jada can go out, smash your son's friend, cheat on you, make you feel guilty for cheating, like you're saying that your mental health was a reason why I had to go and cheat. Mm-hmm. And then you are supposed to defend her honor. Oh, she's never guilty. You have to cater to every single one of her feelings because she gives you a side eye and she feels uncomfortable for a second. So now you have to jump on her command.
Yeah,
that's what they want the man to be.
Because at first he was laughing. Yeah,
at first he was laughing. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why they support it, because they think that a man should be unconditionally doing whatever they want. No, a man acts when it's in its interest. Meaning that when it's in it, like. It has to be for the greater good. Like him jumping up and smacking him, yeah, it might show some dominance, but it doesn't achieve anything. That's only going to make his wife get made fun of even more, and even their relationship, right? What Sim mentioned, if he was a man and in control as an alpha, he would have walked up during his speech and said, listen, it's not cool for a grown man like Chris Rock to be making fun of someone who has a condition like this.
Yeah. But the thing that I found crazy is, and they still gave him the award after
instead of
assault and battery.
This is the pretty boy privilege that you get, that we've seen.
I was like, that's crazy. He bro, any sport you do that, you're ejected, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like this. He's still going to get an award, and he's going to come up there and cry. He's going to come up there and cry.
He didn't even apologize to Chris Rock. He cried for a different reason.
Yeah. Remember him saying, Denzel walked up to me 5 minutes before that all happened, be careful at your highest moment, the devil's going to come and get you. Well, you just did. You fell into the devil's trap. You responded to a joke with violence to someone who you've known for a big portion of your celebrity career, who's maybe, I don't know if they're friends, but I'm sure he's met him a few times over the course of many years of both people's professions. So that in itself was very puzzling, that him using that quote, because you actually succumb to the devil in you.
And what he said was like, he apparently Chris Rock has taken. Okay, we're back.
Reconnected. Okay.
Maybe because of weather.
So, no, maybe they're doing some maintenance. But anyways, if you have to understand that this kind of woman is someone that, and I go back to saying this for young men out there, a woman will make or break you. You have to be careful. You don't throw away a 20-plus year career for a woman who doesn't deserve it. You don't do that. Mm. Fine, you may love that person, whatever it is you have with that. If for some godforsaken reason you have some relationship with her, it happens, whatever. But you have to know that at some point there are certain things that are indefensible. Right? I mean, you have to know that you're in that realm. And I'm not, by the way, supporting Hollywood. I don't really care for it. But that's just the reality of it, right?
Yeah, you're taking out what the issue is and you're talking about the issue. You are made
to be this on a pedestal, and people are made to examine you and ridicule you and make fun of you and poke at you. You signed up for it. You wanted people when you were younger. You wanted people to take pictures of you. You wanted to be in the magazines. You wanted this life. You made this choice. Yeah. Now you made your bed. Now you sleep in it.
Yeah.
Right? You can't just get mad. I mean, if you get that mad over Chris Rock talking about G.I. Jane for some balding she's having, alopecia, why don't you go get that married that guy who smashed your wife? Do you know what I mean? Like, you see what I'm trying to say? What's worse?
Yeah.
And this is what he's talking about, the double standard, the hypocrisy. The only reason why he did that was to, because his wife gave him a side eye. He had to man up.
He was laughing.
He was laughing at first.
Yeah, and then he had, and that's because Chris Rock was a low hanging fruit. I guarantee you, if that was Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Tyson Fury, he would have never slapped that guy.
Yeah,
absolutely. And one of the most troubling things I see out of all this is a lot of Muslim influencers, people who are in the limelight, who have some kind of saying in social media. They're saying, what a great thing that, it was basic. I don't want to put anyone's name on. It was on the tip of my tongue. I didn't want to say her name, but.
Well, now we know what it is.
Well, they were saying that, that was a perfectly fine behavior. This is what a man should be doing. He should be sticking up for his wife. Bro, I was like, wow, how disconnected from reality are you? These are the women who are dangerous, man. They're women who can't think past what's in front of them. Like, imagine your husband who has achieved so much success, getting an assault charge on him, going to jail, having major fines,
getting sued for millions.
A smart woman says, hey, this is not worth it. It's not worth it. Like, come back. Like, hey, we're okay. We got food. We got a roof over our head. We got love in our family. Like, that's not worth it.
Yeah.
That kind of a wise woman would never allow her husband to throw everything away and choose violence,
Yeah.
So these are the deranged women who want masculinity, but they want it for their own selfish.
No, but isn't this toxic?
As their own reason. Yeah, it's toxic. It's toxic femininity.
No, they all say men are so aggressive.
Control,
No, I'm saying they all say men are so aggressive. They can't control them. They're impulsive. They're toxic. And now they embrace this toxic behavior where you just can't control yourself. You're impulsive and you go and do that. See, we don't mind aggression as men. Aggression is our nature. But a smart man, a real man, knows when to use his aggression.
Yeah. Just
jumping off because a woman tells you to use your aggression is not a smart man. Like he's mentioning.
Yeah,
a wise woman would tell you when, would restrict that. Would know how to say, hey, it's not good for us as a couple.
Yeah, brothers in the chat, we know that she's not pressing charges, but a woman should think this way, that even though in this specific situation, Will Smith got off without any real criminal liability, but in the future, like in any event, when you're trying to protect your family, you don't, especially when it's words, you don't want to sacrifice. You're the source of their protection. You're the livelihood. Why would it's like cutting off your nose to spite your face? You choosing violence to solve that situation would be like, well, then I'm going to end up going to jail, or I'm going to be losing my livelihood, and I'm not going to be able to provide for my family anymore.
And Sim, it's unsolvable. What would he have done if every person after that came up and made a joke about, was he going to punch everybody out?
Yeah.
Like, what is he going to do? Right? So, you make yourself the butt of the joke.
So if I can ask, you said it could have costed him millions. Now, this may be a little naive, but why didn't Chris Rock press any charges?
He probably doesn't want to. I mean, there's probably a bro code. There's probably something. He probably knows. He felt bad. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
He's getting his punishment right now. Will Smith, at least for the most part, most people, at least from what I've seen online, completely disagree with what he's done. So there is some a silver lining to all this, to see that, okay, well, people recognize that this guy is acting like a moron, and he's clearly has some psychological trauma that's happened with the whole thing with Jada and her lover, and it's breaking him inside, and that's not rational behavior. So I think most people have come away with that, but there are a sizable minority of people, I would say, who think that was perfectly fine. Yeah, you protected your woman, and
I heard something.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't think Chris Rock will do it just because, I think it's rightful, so he has the right not to, right?
Yeah.
Black on black.
But here he kind of became a hero. Yeah, anyway,
but I'm saying he probably knows that this. I mean, what Will did to himself is more than anything that he could
Yeah.
Really do to him,
and on
right?
the flip side, you were saying that how Will just is going to be remembered forever, him and his wife with these memes. Chris Rock is going to be remembered forever for taking that punch and just continuing the show. That's how he's going to be remembered.
Chris Rock, what I would do?
That was incredible, man. The way he
composure.
There were people who were like, "Oh, he was
Shook.
there was like a rough entry or segue into the other." Try doing that job, you dumb.
Yeah. That was perfect.
There's some people who are so freaking dumb, man, because they don't understand how much pressure it is. They've never go on stage. They never presented.
Yeah.
They can't even speak in front of speech class in college in a coherent way. And they love, taking shots at presenters and stuff like that when they make small slip ups and stuff and they jump all over it. But he handled himself like, bro, there's no way I would have been able to maintain.
Even the words he came out with, he's like, what do you say? Like, this is the best entertainment on national television we've ever seen, or something.
All he said was like, "Damn, dude, it's G.I. Jane." That's all he said, And then
after his cussing thing,
yeah. But I mean, honestly, if I was Chris Rock, I would milk this. I would have a whole podcast series dedicated to...
Without a doubt. But I think he'll take the high road. And
getting slapped by Will Smith. You know what I mean?
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. And Sim knows, you've done stand-up before.
Oh, yeah.
It's not easy, bro. It's very, very difficult.
I did amateur to stand-up. Amateur,
I'm just saying, though. You tried it out. You wanted to see what it was like. And, it's not easy, bro. It's very difficult.
I don't know, you guys in the chat, you guys can let us know your thoughts in the comments as you're listening. You can let us know what you think. We think that we're right on this. Maybe we're wrong. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe.
I wasn't ending it, but sorry. I just thought we'd let them get in, but my bad.
No, I wasn't wrapping things up either.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were. I'm sorry. We just had a miscommunication there.
But see how you guys resolved it?
Yeah.
That was very good. Anyways, go ahead, sir.
Without slaps. Yeah. Hey, some could call it slapstick comedy.
Wow, that was good. That was like that good internal dad joke laugh.
For free, all you meme makers.
Yeah, that was good. Slapstick comedy. Yeah, man. Right. What else we got in the agenda?
All right. Andrew Tate. He is a guy who came on the Dean Show recently. So people who don't remember Andrew Tate.
Like tater tots.
Tater tot, yeah. He is kind of a men's rights activist, and he came on the Dean Show with Eddie. Super big channel for
former kickboxer. He was a kickboxer. Yeah,
former kickboxer champion actually.
Based out of Chicago, good friend of Shaykh Amir.
Wait,
no, he's out.
No,
I thought you and Eddie would go.
No, he thought you were talking about. By the way,
he came on the Dean Show. With
I know.
Yeah, but by the way, just so you know, Andrew Tate is from Chicago too.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
Yeah, but that's why I thought he got confused, thinking that he thought you were saying he was from the Andrew Tate. Like, I don't know the guy.
Yeah. So Andrew Tate came on the Dean Show, and he's big proponent of Islam. He's saying all kinds of amazing things. He became initially popular because of a small clip where he was on that one podcast,
Fit and Fresh.
Fit and Fresh, or Fresh and Fit.
Fit and Fresh.
Okay, Fit and Fresh. That's also a podcast by a Muslim, right? A Muslim owns that podcast?
Well, one of them is a Muslim. Myron Gaines. That's not his real name. Abdul something is his name, but he's a Muslim.
Yeah.
And the reason why he became popular amongst the Muslim circle is because he said that Islam solves all societal problems.
No, not that.
Yeah.
No.
He did say that.
Yeah, but that was later. But his first initial comment was that he's like, "Yo, I like the Muslims because they stand up for what they believe in."
Yeah.
He's like, I could walk in London right now and wear a shirt that says, something bad about Jesus, and no one would do anything about it. If I did that about Muhammad sallallahu, they would go out and they would take me out right away.
Yeah. They fight for what they believe in.
They fight for what they believe in. That's what he said.
He said if you don't stand up for what you believe in, you stand for nothing, right?
Yeah.
And that's very, very important.
So that's what really initially boosted him among, like, he got some favor from the Muslims.
Of course,
that we recognize that, right?
Because he articulated in a way that Muslims really haven't articulated.
They wanted to, but people don't get it. He got it. Like, it's simple. You know what I mean? Anyway, so go ahead.
So, I mean, Andrew Tate, for those who don't know, that circle, those type of podcaster, about like male empowerment, becoming the best man you can be, becoming a viable candidate for women to choose as a partner. In their case, it's just open-ended relationship. I guess I don't know if it's a marriage, but leading to a serious relationship where you would have children with that woman, But so many Muslims saw people sharing Andrew Tate's commentary, and they were laughing at him, mocking at Muslims, like, "Oh, look at these Muslims! They're cheering over Andrew Tate, who is such and such a degenerate. He misogynist,
red pill, yeah,
exactly.
Because essentially what he represents is the manosphere, which is the whole idea of like men bettering themselves, not being chumped out by a leftist agenda, like basically reclaiming their manhood.
But when you hear him on the Dean Show and those podcasts, I didn't get that vibe. Maybe there is some episodes in the past. I don't know. People, when you're an entertainer, you say stupid stuff all the time.
What I'm saying,
even if he did something stupid or said stupid stuff, I'm willing to give him a break. He's embracing Islam. He's promoting Islam. It looks like he's very close to accepting Islam.
Yeah.
And he doesn't accept Islam on that episode, but
you can see he has a very positive light about Islam, and he's willing to ask questions.
Yeah.
Like he'll say, "Hey, Eddie, isn't that what you guys do?" But what I think people like that, they recognize the strength of Islam. There's some people that recognize. There's some people who have rational arguments and they become to Muslim Islam that way. Some people need a disciplined life.
Yeah.
Some people need something laid out, principle, and that makes them Muslim.
Yeah.
Right. Like these are the kinds of like Umar ibn Khattab, people like Khalid ibn Walid who live by a principle.
Yeah.
And they don't violate that. Right. And Allah may guide them. We don't know Allah, but even if He doesn't, what He's saying about Islam and what Muslims should be like and what they generally are culturally is true. And this is something that the extreme leftists of society hate. They hate, and they actually try to mock people who think this way and call them degenerates, regressive, misogynist, patriarchy, whatever you want to say. Draconian. It's a common word. It's draconian.
Yeah.
It's so draconian, right? But the idea is that that he understands, because he comes from a traditional background. He's Romanian. Romanians tend to be very traditional, right? Just like Russians. And they understand that society... And by the way, it's interesting if you listen to his show with our brother Eddie. I didn't watch the whole thing, but he says he actually was an atheist. And at some point, he realized that this is just a very bad lifestyle. And there's a higher being. And there has to be some order. There has to be something. Right, and you can't just be living degenerative like this. Where he talks about the LGBTQ, the single parenthood, the promiscuity, the STDs. He talks about all this and says these are things that a normal society should not be. Right, and he says that led me to becoming a believer again. Right, and so I think in that framework, a person like him understands that a functional, productive, healthy society has to be under laws, and it has to be based on principles that are willing to say, hey, there are red lines. Certain things are acceptable and some are unacceptable, but it is for the general welfare of the people. For families, for children, for the elderly, for just regular citizens. And I think he recognizes that that Islam meets those requirements.
Very much so. Very much so. But Brother Eddie, I think, did a pretty cool job. I think he was...
Did you listen to the whole episode?
I listened to most of it on
what did you think about his thoughts on polygamy and stuff like that?
I thought he explained it very, very nicely. And I thought he reciprocated. I think Andrew Tate reciprocated very nicely. And it was very, it seemed very nice and wholesome. It seemed like it came from the heart. They weren't trying to, I think if there's a Muslim woman that, despises hearing about polygamy and stuff, I think someone like that would be like, okay, this is pretty cool, this is very civilized, this is nice. I'm glad they talked about it this way.
Naturally,
one of those.
Naturally, someone like Andrew Tate would have embraced polygamy, right? Because they realized the idea that there's competition for good men. Right? He believed that he's in that 1% of men who are good looking, healthy, successful, wealthy, fertile, right? And he has this certain persona. He thinks of himself in the 1%, and so he realizes that many women want to be with him. Right. And so I think, but where you can relate that to Islam is that a good man, a good husband, is only the one who can get married to 4 or 2, 3, because you have to be a certain level and character of a man to be able to handle that.
To be just, yes.
Right. And not only just, but to even deal with the complications of having multiple women. Multiple in-laws. Multiple children. Right? The dynamic, the balance, right? You have to be able to be strong and comfortable in your position to be able to deal with that. And so the principles they're both talking about, whether Islam or Andrew Tate argues, are essentially the same. You have to be an alpha. You have to be someone who's in control Ours is just more regulated by Islam. His is regulated by society, right?
Yeah.
So there's a difference in that, but there is a slight overlap in terms of why someone like that, and the ideas of polygamy, right? You'll find that even today, like successful men can be in polygamous marriages very easily.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. No, and I like how he talked about how he spends half of his time in Dubai, half of his time in Romania, and he hears the adhan all the time, and he loves it. The reason why I think this was very simple and good on Brother Eddie is that he explained to him what the adhan means, right? Yeah. See, this guy, Andrew Tate's been hearing the adhan for a long time in Dubai, but he never knew what it meant. And I think it was really, really good because there's some people like himself who understand general ideas of Islam for society, like on a societal level. Yeah. And he's convinced of it. But now if he understands what actually is being said, and the special guest at the end actually offered... The special guest at the end offered to send him a copy of his book and a copy of the Quran and all that kind of stuff.
The special guest being?
Return of the Neck.
Noman Ali Khan joined the end.
He did a great job. Very concise.
I thought it was on purpose but apparently there was like a schedule overlap, and Tate, I think, came on late.
Yeah. Nak walked in the
but
studio.
Who better to talk about the Quran?
Yeah, bro, it was beautiful.
Who better to
very well articulated, not too long-winded, just to the point. Gave him everything he needed, and bam, I'm gonna send you my book.
Yeah,
and the thing about Noman is that you hear his passion about the Quran in whatever he says.
Yeah, he does it flawlessly.
So it's like he's so confident because he's so mesmerized by the Quran.
It's a speciality.
Right? Yeah, and so I agree, man. What a brilliant.
Just the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala somehow just makes just straightens out some of the schedules of our daily objectives or things that we're getting done.
No such thing as coincidence.
Yeah, and it was amazing. Noman, that thing's in town. I'm saying Noman as if he's like my buddy, but Ustad Noman
he was on the podcast, bro.
Does that make us on a first name basis now?
I guess everyone knows who you're talking about.
I call him Noman.
Okay, well. Noman was in town.
My buddy Noman was in town.
So he's been on a tour in several mosques. So if you're listening to this around the country, the cancel culture is over, and whatever you think of the brother is over.
Cancel culture works for non-Muslim and liberal Muslims, but true Orthodox Muslims don't care about cancel culture.
Yeah, I like that little play.
So
it's true.
Look, especially the falsehood falls apart, bro. Here's the thing: when all that stuff went down, we didn't know the reputation of those accusers and stuff. But now, for the most part, people who are in the know, they know that those accusers were very disreputable people.
If you know, you know, right? It's just
if you know, you know. Yeah. That's the thing. I don't want to get into the details of how we know, but they're disreputable people.
Yeah. Devil's in the details.
And so, just to sum it up, the Mad Mamluks approves of NAC's classes, and so you guys we would actually recommend them. So if you find yourself in a city where he's offering a talk, by all means, please do support his efforts and attend and benefit.
Yeah, of course. And he's always welcome on the show. We felt
we love you, NAC.
Start the one. If you listen to this, hit us up, bro. You came to Chicago. You should let. He's got my number, bro.
Yeah.
Just let me know.
Why just message him? Hey, you're in Chicago.
No, you know what it is? I think he has his number, and he just looked. He's too shy to say the hi, or salam. He's just waiting for some man to hey, Sim, it was a great podcast. When can we connect again? He's waiting for that golden message to come back.
Well, I just thought now we're on the first name basis.
It's been a year, bro. You can message him.
We're on the first name basis now, and you could just say, "Hey, Sim, I'm in town."
You should message him on air right now and see if he replies right now.
Yeah. Let's do it. I think we'll do it. We'll do it, and hopefully, maybe he can give us some a little break, maybe during the middle of Ramadan when people are kind of need a little boost.
Yeah,
I think he'll be doing. He does.
Chef, you're usually in need of a boost in the middle of Ramadan.
Boost. Yeah.
Why do you have to squint when you say it?
A little boost.
What the heck is going on, guys? This is so weird.
Made a random accent. I don't know
what the heck is going on.
You bring this out of us, man.
Yeah, but I think to be fair though, I think Ustad Noman does do a series on Bayina like during Ramadan. Oh, and by the way, for English speakers only, if you are a revert or someone who's not, as Sim mentioned, you're not good in Arabic and you just know English, there's a brother named Hamza from EF Dawa. He has a channel called Hamza's Den, and he does every day. He does one juz in English, and he picks a different English commentary every year.
Hamza's Den.
Yeah, it's Hamza from Speaker's Corner. He used to be an atheist. And he tried to fight Islam for many years and became Muslim. Like 15
Is the guy
years
with the
ago.
red beard?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think this year he's doing Marmaduke Pictal. So we're gonna be reading that one.
Jeez, people still use that. Wow.
Yeah, English. You think I'm gonna do the old English, kind of like that.
I enjoy reading that Marmaduke.
If you like old English, and if that's why those were designed that way.
Yeah.
For people who are used to that literary translation.
Marmaduke is a very interesting name.
It's a British name.
Where was he from?
Marmaduke is an old English name.
Yeah, it's a British name. He was a British man.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know?
Then what's Picthal?
Picthal is
British name.
I thought Picthal was like some like
a pickle,
Sri Lankan name or something.
Oh, I thought you were like a char.
Pickle?
That's messed up, bro.
Oh,
that's
bro.
Messed up, Mort.
Oh, Rahimullah, bro. Come on.
Rahimullah.
What? Mort, what the heck? Why did you say that?
on purpose. Like, Rahimullah.
No, that's how you pronounce it.
No, he
Sim, I'm
doesn't.
sorry,
No, he doesn't.
bro.
No, he
Hey, Sim,
doesn't.
don't look at him. I'm sorry, bro.
Thank you.
I apologize.
think
he did not do that, guys. He did that on purpose.
Messed up, bro. That was genuine, Mort.
No, it was not.
He just poured his heart out, bro. You just stomped on it, dude.
Yeah.
I know you.
Anyways, yeah, man. So,
all right, guys. I think that's our show for this evening.
Enough.
If you guys feel like we missed out on some commentary related to the topics of the evening, please make sure to comment in the comment section below. Hit the like button. Make sure your friends and family hit subscribe, and
please donate, guys. We don't have super chats. We don't have super things. Anything super anymore. So if you guys like what you're seeing,
YouTube took it all away.
Yeah, they hate us.
So it's no longer donations. It's investing.
Yeah.
In TMM, bro. Invest.
Just a few bucks a month,
Invest.
folks. We want you to donate to better causes than us. We are not deserving of the highest tier in your.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you.
I think,
but like
most
a cup of coffee is
I
good.
sincerely believe this when I tell you that most of your money should go to the people who are starving, suffering around the world. Your Muslim family. Think Ummah. We always talk about this. Think Ummah, but also reserve a small portion of your donations. If you donate $100 a month towards donations, maybe $5 would be going to a Patreon subscription. Inshallah. Like the Mamluks. Help us out in any way you can. It only goes back into this equipment, this service, improving the stuff that we have over here. We're barely surviving on our own. So we need your support to help put this production together.
Yeah.
At the very least, smash the like button so the algorithms get us spun around and maybe others can donate.
And throw some comments in the comment section below.
Like, share.
You don't got the money? Help us out in other ways. Yeah. All right, folks. That's it for our show. We'll see you all next time. Assalamu alaikum and happy and Ramadan Kareem. Wait, is it Ramadan Kareem or Happy Ramadan?
You can say whatever you want.
Ramadan Kareem, fellas.
Fellas, shababbies.
What's going on with this guy today, bro? Boost? What is that? Boost? Why'd you pucker up when you said it?
Shit, I got muted, dude.